Aryna Sabalenka hits hard. She scares me. Sitting at the bottom of the second half of the draw, the world ranked number two, the number two seed, flying under the radar as no one's really talking about her in this draw. Now, I gave you the odds. She was minus 125 to win her quarter and make the semifinal. She's got a good chance now. She takes out big sister Andreva in the first round, and she defeats Uchima here in the second round. What's next for her? She'll play the winner of Yulia Putintseva and Paula Badosa. We all know Paula Badosa is her best friend, her bestie, and she's dominated that head-to-head 4-2. But she's never played Yulia, and I think Yulia could present some problems for Sabalenka because of her way to redirect and isolate some of that power with her short balls. Yulia's got a great drop shot, and we saw Sloane had no answer for the drop shot. Sloane, one of the cleanest ball strikers we have in the business, not really using that athletic ability at her age. And I talked about the window of female tennis players, female athletes. Once you hit in your upper 20s, 28, 29, 30, 30, it's over. Historically, you're not winning a Grand Slam once you hit 30. The odds are just very low. I mean, you take a look at Serena Williams, the last 32 Grand Slams, she's the only female over the age of 30 to win a Grand Slam. Out of the last 32 Grand Slam tournaments, Serena's the only one over 30 to win a Grand Slam title. So, I mean, what percentage is that, guys? Every draw, 128 players, the last 32, Serena's the only one to win one. That's a very small percentage for female players over 30 to win. So Sabalenka's what, 26 now? Realistically, she's got a window that's shrinking every day. But in terms of her style, right now, she's the world number two. And she might be in this position, two, three, give or take, plus or minus, for the next couple years, I would say at least. But her style, it's powerful, it's aggressive, and I talk about how I think Osaka's just the cleanest, purest ball striker, right? Why do I say that? Why do you guys think I say that? Because it's true. Look at her form. Look at her timing. Look how she strikes the ball so powerfully, so aggressive, so effortlessly. And then you take a look at Sabalenka. She's yelling, she's screaming. She's really putting a lot of her body into her power shots, right? She's really overextending herself. And listen, as a former boxer, someone that played college basketball, someone that plays tennis, when you're trying to transfer energy and strength, a lot of it comes from your core, right? When I see players, or take a look at boxers, if you want to really sit someone down, you do not want to overextend or overreach, because not only are you exerting more energy, but it's less efficient. If you want to be strong and powerful, sit down on your shots and work on the technique and the form, right? It's always the punch you don't see that hurts you the most. So when I see players overextending, I'm taking a look at how much more efficient they can be if they work on their form. Sabalenka overextends a lot. Now, I think she's talented, but when it comes to skill, I do think she makes a lot of mistakes. And players like Osaka, just compare their forms. I just posted a short yesterday, of Osaka. Look at that power and how effortlessly it is, okay? But again, styles make fights, and do what works for you, okay? What works for one player is not necessarily going to work for another. And Sabalenka's had success, but she does make a lot of mistakes, but she's strong enough to overpower most players. So she gets away with it because it works for her. And she is talented. She is very skilled. And I mean, let's just be honest, she destroys Uchima here, winning 76% of her first serve, 72% of the second serve. She saved all four of the break points that Uchima had, while Osaka was 4 for 7 on break points. I do want to take a look at the winners and the unforced errors. 27 winners to 10, 18 unforced errors to 12. And I want to look at the net points. How is she doing at the net? Because listen, guys, Sabalenka is starting to come forward a lot. I talked about that match in Australia a lot with Coco, where Coco just had her out of place, off balance. and she's working on her net play. I can tell, guys. 80, nearly 80% of the net points won in this match. Uchima did not win a single net point. That's improvement to me. And Sabalenka scares me. I say it all the time because she hits hard. She doesn't care. She's screaming and yelling. There's millions of fans watching, thousands of fans in attendance, and she's screaming like that. She doesn't care. When you see a player like that that does not care, they're letting it all out. And we're starting to see Osaka become more vocal, let that energy out. That's a player that scares me because they don't care who's watching. They don't care what you think. That is a player that's going to do well, and that's why she's the world number two, and that's why she's been consistently lately. But I also think there's a point in tour where the new generation is coming up, and this is just her time to shine and dominate. We're seeing that class of 19 finally get settled in. I mean, 5 years later, right? The Diana Yastremskas, the Layla Fernandez, the Clara Towsons, the Marta Kasiuks, the Kenwin Jongs. You know, that class is finally starting to settle down. I don't know where Emma's at. I don't know where Emma Raducanu's at, but again, she's battling a lot of injuries and stuff like that, but she'll be back at Wimbledon. Hopefully she has a deep run. The top 10 needs Emma Raducanu to do something. Emma, you have to do something. I do think it was, I don't think it was good to blow off the Roland Garros. We've seen Osaka do that in the past, but she's big time. She's got 4 slams. But nonetheless, guys, Sabalenka gets a victory. What's next for her? Yulia Putintseva or Paula Badosa? She's dominated Badosa in the past. They're besties. If Badosa comes through, might be a competitive first set, but I think Sabalenka, you'll get her at a favorable line. She'll win that match. I think Yulia will present much more of a challenge, but they're in the 3-set battle right now. Quick rundown on the day, guys. There's a lot of rain here in France, and we're headed to France. It's just I don't know about this. It's too messy over there. Donna Vekic dominating Marta Kasiuk. That was a lock there. And right now, Putintseva, she's up in the 3rd set against Paula Badosa. Can she hold on? Potapova takes out Victoria Golubic. Katerina Siniakova, she's up a set over Chloe Paquette. Diana Yastremska takes out Wong. Tomova, she's down a set over Chu Wong. And Aranza Rus, she's up in the 2nd set over Elena Rybakina. That's going to be a tough match. I told you guys, Aranza Rus is going to push that pace. Danielle Collins and Olga, they're tied in the 1st set at 5-5. Svitolina Perry just getting started. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. Volley nets and Vondrousova. Weather delay. That should be continued soon. It's a good match, though. Volley nets. Volley nets won the 1st set. Marquetta's up in the 2nd set. Can Marquetta come back? She's up 4-1. Come on, Marquetta. Marquetta made the French Open Championship a few years back. Unbelievable. She's